How are we all today? I hope we're doing fine, cause I don't know. Anyways, I guess today we are already in uh the chat. So if anybody wants to come by and chit chat while I do my stuff, they can. So I was gonna go see Shazam today and have to be able to talk about it a little bit for for like 30 seconds or so probably, but I forgot it was I sort of forgot it was Tuesday and that it was on, so I'll probably end up going next Tuesday. um so this week I'm drawing my character Metamorph. This is what he's gonna look like in the end. In the comics, he when he first appears, you won't see him in this. You might see him in this right at the end, this look. This was actually a crossover look that I created between, I think it was The Driver and Brainiac 5. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. Um, his name's Metamorph, so obviously, as you might be able to tell from the name, he can change shape. And everything just keeps fluctuating for the bandwidth. Although it's not fluctuating low, it's going from like about 1,000 and up. What do I want to do for him? I hate the fluctuating. This, let's see. Let's see if there's anything I can do. Or just stop the fluctuating. Uh, Close couple programs. Okay, so that's not a bad, what we call it, skeleton or whatever. There we go. Trying to get things done here. Okay, so there we go. I don't want him to be able to stretch or anything like extendo. He's just going to be able to morph into different animals. He might have be able to be in fluctuation between one or two or whatever. Although I'm probably going to put more on here. There. His hand in like to a bird's claw talon is there. I am up. Hey, Flyfox, how are you tonight? So, the books are going to be in tomorrow. Uh, the printer finally got his printer fixed, and I was talking to him today. He was in the middle of printing them. So, sometime tomorrow, I will be going to pick up the comic books, and they will be in. Then it's just cutting my foam board to put in with them, and then taking them bit by bit to the printer, or not the printer, the post office. And good thing is nothing super big like the last time, so my shipping costs will probably be a bit lower than they were last time. Well, I've got less to ship too. So what's up for you tonight, Flyfox? If you could like and share, that'd be mighty nice of you. trying to think what to do with this hand. I want to do something special with it, but you know what? I'll just have it clawed or taloned. I started drawing a new Lone Wolf page. Cool, cool, cool. Now I'm practicing my coloring. So is Lone Wolf they're getting you to do some drawing? How's that coming looking? Oh, and let's see. I gotta bring up the latest Snowdrift. I'm gonna be doing a video for it tomorrow. Got a lot to do tomorrow. So there's the latest Snowdrift page colored. I'm drawing the 10-page backup story for the deluxe edition of the book. Oh, cool. Uh, your coloring has improved. Thanks. uh, yeah. So I think you've seen the cover. That was Dillard pencils and inks. My colors. Uh, hey, Pilfer, how are you? Uh, go to site. Okay, so part two by Eric Kent. Here, let me. This was thanks. Um, And you're not even seeing it properly. At least drawing wise. This is page 2. And although I just showed page 3, which will be made into a video tomorrow sometime, either up tomorrow or Thursday. And there's the next page to color. Now let me. Okay, so let's. Okay, so we're gonna. I guess we'll. Thank you, Pilfer. This. You get. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, and tomorrow my books are gonna come in for the actual um Canadian Shield 2 and Snowdrift 1. That's of course from Snowdrift thing. And what we have here is the campaign that thing Flyfox was saying about. Okay. Okay, where do I see your art, Flyfox? Oh, here, there we go. Is the black and white one up here? Is it the black and white or the color? These are pages, a couple pages Flyfox is doing for this backup story on this book, Lone Wolf. Go up a little, so. Okay, so I gotta wait for the delay. This sort of looks like your style. Oh, you should, maybe get together and talk. See whether you might want to draw ink, uh, flame, and how much. See how well you can do the characters. I know you did the flame cover. That's if you'd want to do something like that and how much you would charge. But that's like 22 pages. Did a real good dog here, that's for sure. The tree looks pretty good. You said 10 pages. How much is the deluxe edition? Digital Lone Wolf 2. $8, 11 Canadian for the digital for two of them. Does that include the digital, the deluxe? We shall speak. August 2000. And how long is this on for this? How many, how much longer? 23 more days. Remind me in a couple weeks near the end about this, and maybe I'll do the $11 back. Anyways, but how are you doing, Pilfer Puff? And yes, I should do a shout out to Pilfer Puff. Thank you, my Patreon, Pilfer Puff. He's supposed to be mentioned. I think it's at least once a month or once a thing. Anyways, I guess back to trying to get this done. I do not believe the digital includes the deluxe material. Would you be able to find out, Flyfox? Not right this second, obviously, but you know, in the next couple weeks. Because if I get forget the deluxe, any deluxe stuff. Well, the story, anyways. I don't care about physical stuff. That's still up. What's the deluxe supposed to? Andrew Costas. Wolfpack Bundle, Brad Ashworth. I know who that is too. He got my big stuff, so. Cover. I don't see anywhere it says deluxe here. Oh, the glow in the darks contains story with art by Five Flocks Pro. So, would they give you your story in the digital for that? It's 55 Canadian only to the states, so that's no good, anyways, for me. I do not. Oh, yeah, I read that. Yeah, anything that's getting shipped doesn't look like uh, dark. Yeah, it looks like anything that gets shipped is only to the States. Hey, Carol Colors, how are you? Hey, Massive. Right now, I'm just quickly looking at Lone Wolf 2 because Fly Fox, you do not name it. Yeah, uh, uh, because Fly Fox Pro here has a backup story if you get the $40 tier or more. Glow in the dark soft cover. I'm good. Are you really going to Dillard for a pool party? Well, I'm not going. I am not going to his place for that, but because I'm going there, he's gonna have a pool party. Uh, Carol. I've got to still do it, but I've got to book a. There's a Christian Comic Con down in LA in September, which I am gonna go to. It's September 16th, and then we're gonna have the pool party. I'll probably be there a few days before the 16th, mind you. But then the 17th gonna have the pool party at Dillard's. So yeah, if you get the $40 pledge, you can get a backup story by Fly Fox. And but people see. Oh, people can even see that. Here. Uh, let's see. Let me bring that up again. Yeah. So there. Now you can actually see it. Yeah. So the $40 plus the glow in the dark soft cover, 60 pages. You get Fly Fox Pro stuff in there. Also the $50 one. He hosts. He posted that his best friend Rick Piper was coming to his house for a pool party. Yeah, I saw that. I'm not too keen on the picture though. Oh, I'm sure I will. I'm actually going to be hitting a few of the different. There's a two or three cons I'm going to be hitting in the states. Hopefully this year. And let me see whether I should be able to bring that up about that. Yes, I plan on going to. I'm thinking of going to Memento Con in August. I think that's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Plastic City Con, Alpha Omega Con, and then um, I'm not sure whether I'd call it a Comic Con, but there's a comic festival in Athol, Massachusetts. So, bunch of stuff I got planned to do. And then I've got some in Canada that I want to do. I can't type today. So, how are you doing, Massive? Pittsburgh. That's kind of near me. A few hours. Cool. Well, keep listening over the next couple weeks. I'm probably gonna be putting in my doing all these for the putting in my application to all of them at the beginning of the month, April, and seeing what happens. Hopefully, some people will be able to come out to whatever ones I go to, meet up, or say hi or whatever, Get a picture taken. I post it if they'll let me. Man, I'm trying to figure out a cover design for my next issue. It's so tough trying to come up with something that captures the tone of the issue, also looks appealing and cover worthy. Very true, very true. Massive. Um, is this a first issue, second issue? What? Although you say next issue, so that makes me think it's beyond a first issue. It's actually the cover for issue 8. Oh, wow. You've got 7 other comics out? What's it about? Where can people find these? Well, the 3 main ideas for a cover, even with that, would be the hero or heroes themselves, then the villain or villains, and then or one with both the heroes and the villains on. Just a big turkey monster confuse the hell out of people. Yeah, there's that too. Do something completely whacked enough to throw people off. Hello, Edwin. How are you? Edwin Raid of the White Leopard, April 28th, avocado. So it's never no longer Edwin Ace, whatever it was. Okay, hold on. Okay, take this one off for now. Take that off. Hey, Mike, how are you doing? Dropping by, just finished my show and dropping a like and share and saying hi. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, hello.
Oh, metal, finally. Not that you have to be here, but how are you
Ah,
doing?
maybe I'll just leave then.
You're more than welcome, though. So, how are you tonight, metal?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I just had some lasagna and
Uh,
stuff, so it's pretty good.
I had the Sunday, Monday. Well, I probably had it on both days because, or was it Saturday? It might have been Saturday and then had it. Yeah, it was Saturday and I had it Saturday and Sunday. Massive Panda says, "What's up, metal?"
It was a pain in the butt. We had to try to keep all the meat to one side because for some reason my brother just does not like beef in any format. So like half the lasagna had to be just like a cheese lasagna, and then we could have like the meat on the other half.
Okay, that's a little whacked. Oh, massive! I'm not
Yeah,
sure
yeah. You
what.
should have seen. You should have seen it cooking. It was like the top was a little lopsided just because like the meat made one side thicker.
Yeah, I can believe that. I'm not sure whether you heard me, massive. Where can we find the other 7 books? Since you say this is covered to issue 8, I
What
didn't.
what if what if they just wanted to start with issue 8?
I guess not much I can do if that's what he did, but most people don't do that.
Well, I mean, George Lucas started with episode 4 and it worked out for him.
True. Yeah, could you imagine if he started with episode 1?
Ah, dude, the technology just wasn't there at the time.
Yeah,
Plus,
but
also like it would have ruined the twist, right? Like you want to start with 4 because there's like that big twist in the fifth one, and if you start with 1, it's like, well, then I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, but Would it, did he know at that point that was going to be there? That
That was
technology?
actually one of the reasons he gave is that some of the stuff that he wanted to do he couldn't do with like the budget and technology he had available. Now I don't know if he thought it was going to go into like further green screen CGI or everything. Maybe he just thought like they'd get better animatronics or something like that.
Yeah, that's probably it because I think Jim Henson worked a lot on that with him.
But he had to have some clue things were going more digital because they were already superimposing stuff back then.
Let's see. Massive
He
says
probably just thought that like they were going to be able to like take pictures of ships and superimpose them instead of having to have like dioramas and stuff like that.
yeah. Massive says, "Hey Joshua." Massive says they're on Indie Planet. Their series is called Master of the Edge. They still haven't uploaded the seventh issue. The 1 through 6 are there online. Oh, cool. Here, let's.
I love Indie Planet. You can get most of my books there too.
Yeah, I've thought about doing them. IndiePlanet.com.
Still waiting for them to finish processing the submit request for Realms and Relics. It's not up yet.
That was.
Like I knew it was going to have to wait until the work week started, but I didn't think they'd go all the way through Tuesday. Must be a busy time of year for them.
Yeah. Well, on a different note, I am getting my comic books tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, now I gotta start sending them out. Oh, here, let me. Okay, yeah. He had to wait because they didn't have the technology to make Jar Jar. I'm sure they could have dressed somebody up in Jar Jar suit.
Oh yeah, Jar Jar would have just his proportions would have looked a little different. It would have been a little more humanoid, but it would have just been a person in like prosthetics and stuff like that. I mean, he does say technology is one of the reasons, but I think the heavier reason is always going to be with Episode 5. Just wouldn't be as impactful if you had already known Anakin's story up to that point.
Yeah. Well, the question is, what have we? Well, we would have got most everything, but what have we seen him in the Darth Vader suit?
Yeah. I mean, you did see that in 3.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it. He could have made different choices.
Well, he would have made a lot of different choices. He already called him Darth Vader in 3 as well, back before he got wounded.
Oh, okay.
Well, he called him Lord Vader, but yeah.
Massive says, same here. They're taking their sweet time with my issue 7 submitted it forever ago. Massive says, I don't know who those other comics are. They are mine. Yeah. Let's see. Digital download. How much for digital? $2. That's not bad. Oh, that's $2 American. Still not bad. That's not bad. $6. Do you know? Do you know if they have PayPal?
For paying?
Yeah.
Well, when I know from the Kablam side, which is what you work with when you're a creator, their printing side, you have to pay through PayPal. Now, you don't have to use a PayPal account, but they will give you a invoice that way, and then you can pay with a credit card or whatever. I pay with my PayPal balance. So I haven't ordered something from Indie Planet's side in a while. The last time I did was Little Victory by Philip Jackson, which I was enjoying that series. I wish he would continue it. But I'm assuming yes.
Okay. Massive. I'm thinking about reducing the digitals to 99¢. Not sure though. Well, do it quick. Do it quick. That way it's only.
Oh, I have all. I think by default I have all my digital set as low as they let me go. Which for most of them, I think it's all but one might be 99¢, because I think the lowest end they let you do it is based on page length, and one of them just like tips right into like the next bracket to where they won't let me put it lower.
Yeah. So that's 32 pages of story. massive. And I just kid about doing it fast. I don't mind paying $2 for digital.
Yeah, and normally I actually wouldn't tell anybody to get a digital version of my comics since they are just print versions of webcomics. But the, this actually has the original format of my comics before I resized the edges and updated the colors to look better in digital printing. So it's a relic. That's the only way you can get the old versions, and I decided not to update them specifically. I'll just when I do a volume print, that'll have all the newer colors and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. Maybe after tonight or tomorrow, I might get them. Yeah, I don't have any ads in my comics. Oh, that's cool. Does the 32 pages count include the front and back cover?
No, no, no. When they say page count, that's the interiors. So
Yeah.
that doesn't even include the inside covers either. It's just the interior pages.
Oh, yeah, I know normally that's the way it is, but, I
Because
just
that's what
didn't.
they ask you from the printing end. So
I should get Massive on sometime, and when he's about to put number 8 out or whatever. Maybe I should get Massive on. Talk with him about his comic universe. I think he's been on the show before, but
well, I think everybody should just buy X Dynamis Chaos Episode 4 Fighting for Fall, because that's the one that looks the best in print. And you don't need to read the other ones before that anyway.
so 6, that's $12, probably about $15. Well, how well do you find sales there? Good sales or
Not well. But I also don't ever advertise, so that's a bigger thing. I don't really ever sell. But, again, I'm a webcomic guy, so, like, to my detriment, I pretty much only ever advertise my website.
yeah. Well, that's sort of good because then you get the cash sort of straight.
Yeah, yeah. Most of what I get are people who enjoy reading it, just donate. Tip system.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's probably better to have people come get them off your website instead of buying them off your website. Although you don't really sell them on your website.
No, no. Well, that's the thing too. On my website, there's a tab that says shop, and all it does is redirect you to like you click on the image and it takes you to Indie Planet for that sell. That's it. If you want a physical version, but no, you can like I have the full comic version. This is bad marketing, by the way. Like I'm just this is the way I am. I'm fine with taking the hit. You could read the full what would otherwise be print version, all the pages that end up in the print version of the comic on the website in the book section. You could just read it as it is.
Yeah, for
And
free,
I
right?
don't care. I just want, yeah. I just want people reading those ones. They're web comics though. They're not designed to be premium books. I do have some premium books planned, mind you. I just haven't gotten around to making them. But it's because you can just read it out there for free that most people just don't want a physical copy of it. That's fine. But people
Yeah.
donate. It's a tip system.
Yes, mother.
Just came in to say hi to everybody.
Uh-huh. Panda says, yeah, man, I'd be down to come on. I'd probably get a microphone or something of quality so my sound won't be trash. Yeah, well, you probably got a bit. How long till number 8 comes out, Massive? I know you said you're just working on the cover. Have you got the everything internal done yet or not? And then he goes on to set metal. Did they just upload several of your comics all at once recently? I feel like I just saw all of them when I was checking to see if mine were uploaded, but I could be wrong.
No, no, no. Those have been up there for a while. I'm trying to remember when I first started doing that. The first 4, because Hymn of Valor is not on that list. Since I don't have a proper publisher page, right? They have like a series page or whatever, and it's got a different name, so it's in a different page. But basically everything before Fighting for Fall was made before I went to print, right? So like the first year that I did webcomics, and then I realized, why am I making all this stuff in CMYK, in this like old, more common like European color palette, right? When nobody uses CMYK for printing anymore, these digital printers just take RGB code and translate it to the CMYK inks inside the printer anyway, right? So I just went and changed everything to RGB, but all the stuff was already up and printed before I did that. So this stuff has been up for years, even Fighting for Fall. Realms and Relics will be new when that finally goes up, but there's been a gap since I've had anything up on the website.
Yeah, I should probably put stuff on there. Places like that, on demand, that people can just, find it by happenstance, you know?
Yeah, well, Global Comics is going to start doing print on demand soon too. I think it's the next thing they're trying to get finished after they finish the app they're working on, but it is on the high priority list.
And I just say that because, if I can get on something like that, you know, yeah, maybe it sells one every, year or something like that. But it doesn't hurt to have it there.
Well, the best part about that, right? It's that sustainability, where it's you don't have to make sure by the time you're at your 7th crowdfunding campaign for specifically the Canadian Shield, that you have to be able to bundle all 6 back copies of the Canadian Shield. You're like, listen, I'm only doing the last 1 or 2. If you need anything before that, you could easily get it print on demand. You can always start at number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could say, well, I'm hoping at that point to have a lot on my. But.
Well, that's why I like print on demand. I hate not being able to start at number 1 in a series. In fact, that's probably why I do more piracy than not. Is like, dude, you're like chapter 152. I just want to start at 1.
Let's see. Massive says, Metal, what's your opinion on Global Comics? I've heard about it.
Oh, what's my opinion?
He's 1000% for it.
I really like Global Comics. I'm super into it. I think a lot of people should use it. To me, at least as a digital reading site, and if it gets into print on demand, it will kind of fill in the other gap that it's not right now. But as a digital reading site, it has the best digital reader of any comic site that I've been on, or from either a reader or creator side. Actually, Rick, you shared it on your community tab, but I made a whole video trying to sell Global Comics to people.
Yeah.
And I really like it. The community is pretty nice too. I've been in the Discord for a little bit, hanging out with, or interacting with some of the people and stuff like that.
And also put a link to that video that you did too in my Discord.
Yeah. I might just let me find it. I'm gonna drop it in the chat. Make it easier for people since we're talking about it.
Yeah.
That way, if anybody comes and rewatches and has the chat open, they can just see the link there too.
Yeah, and also, if they're rewatching, they hear that there's a link, maybe they can go onto their computer and look at the chat replay and, you know, go click it and
But yeah,
now,
I like it.
now, just don't go watch that right now. Wait till after.
Wait till it's over. Right click it, or use your middle mouse button, open a new tab, don't click over and just let it sit there. Because it's not a short video. I think it's like, well, I spent like 20 minutes on it.
Yeah, something like that.
I was thinking about doing that for more websites that I use. Like, because I did it once or twice back in the day, and I think one of the older videos are gone. But I used to, like, if I saw something cool on the web, I would just record myself, like, screen capture and upload it. I think the only thing I still have up there is when Google did the Let It Snow thing, and you can, like, it would fog up your screen, and you can, like, wipe away and be, like, on your window during a cold day. But I used to do that, and I like, there's a lot of sites I use, and I would like to do, like a pros and cons things for different websites. I think that would be a good video series.
Yeah. For sure.
But, oh, you know what? I'm going to drop this. In case people actually want to go to Global Comics, I can drop them right on my page. Or yours. It's pretty easy to find yours as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, you have to click on my video to get to the link inside the video. No, that's too much work. Some people, maybe have even seen the video. They don't need to click on it.
Oh, heck. I have 2 stories up. Probably, hopefully after next week, I'll have the first page of my hair manga up. Or in a week.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you're still working on that. I was talking to Dillard about that the other day.
Yeah. What are you saying?
Yeah. Oh, you know, it's just same old stuff. And we were talking, like, everybody in the chat was confused when we brought it up. And I had to, he forgot why we started, right? Because he was more just concerned between you and him particularly. Like, the only reason he opted in is because you were in it. And I remind him that it was, like, Evan who started all this stuff.
Yeah, and
that it was
supposed to be between Evan and Elric.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And then somehow all of us got involved. And it was kind of more of just like a big game of chicken. And it pretty much ended, but I think by default you'll win, just by the fact that you will produce something.
Yeah. I didn't take it. Well, it fell flat, but I didn't take it as... I didn't really realize that everybody was just joking about it. Doing it.
Yeah, we were, a lot of us were puffing hot air. Some people even creating pages as part of it. Like, it was a game of chicken, right? It's like, how close can you get before somebody turns, right? I think Dillard made up to 5 pages before everything stopped.
I knew he did a couple. That's for sure.
I drafted a page of a script. That's as far as I went.
I drafted a page and 3/4. So I've got those 2. I'm working on those. I'm in the middle of coloring one. And then I'm just going to turn it black and white.
Mine was going to be like almost like a detective noir, except it was going to be like a detective noir, except obviously more comedy because that's how I write most things. I could write a serious detective noir, but then wouldn't work for a harem so much. So I was going to have like basically everyone involved was going to be a whole bunch of different like stereotypes of women that you find in noir, including like a femme fatale and stuff like that. But all of them were going to be into the detective.
Let's see.
And
Timothy says, "What happened now? Oh, we're just talking about the. Well, we've been talking about a bunch of things, but we haven't sort of halfly got onto the harem manga. But Tim, the Master Panda says, Metal, are you able to upload your pages as they are, or do you have to break up the pages and panels so they'll fit on the format for Global Comics?
as are, just as is, you can
Yeah.
upload it. That's what I do. All of because all mine are made for print anyway. But they accept comic pages. There's actually some bigger publishers on there now too. I think Heavy Metal was already on there, but we're seeing Archie is coming. They made a big announcement. Image, Boom. There's a few other ones coming. But yeah, if it's made for print, you could just put it up there as pages. You can view them in single or double page view. If you have vertical scroll, they do accept vertical scroll too, so you can just put it up there as is. And you can also make them interactive. So once you have it up there the way it is, you can go into their editor and it'll let you take almost like text boxes or whatever, just like a marquee. So you can make the square and you can even like add more joints to change the shape of the square that you're making. And you can make an interactive view out of the pages you already uploaded. It's not necessary, but I do think it helps your views if you go in and add the interactive boxes. Helps on
Now,
the phone anyway.
yeah, here is the first page almost done of the harem manga. My harem manga. And I am doing it like a manga where left to right to left. I know it's opposite.
Yeah, it's right to left.
Can I make it free? Like if it's my webtoons, can I also have it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I've got two
Yeah, so
stories up there for free right now.
Yeah. It is a digital storefront, but you can leave things free. There's even a box where I could do this for the print versions, but I don't since I have them up in full for free on my website anyway. But if I wanted to make sure that the pages that only show up in print weren't free, I could make all the pages from the original webcomic free and mark them as always free, and then I can put like a full price on the thing, so if they buy that, the extra pages would come with it. There's an option. You could set things to always free. You could just make the whole thing free. You could pick and choose which pages. They give you a lot of flexibility. You can even make bundles and stuff too. If you get like a bunch of PDFs and you're like, I just want to buy everything in this volume at once from these individual floppies, you can bundle it. And if somebody happens to already own, like, I don't know, episodes 1 through 3, like issues 1 through 3, and you've got 12 issues, it will automatically discount the ones they own from the bundle. So it's a pretty good site.
Yeah. I put my all my shorts that were up on webtoons there. I'd like to do my shorts again, but I don't really have time to do shorts at the moment. But I also put and it's on webtoons too. Well, I released it page by page on webtoons, but all 8 pages are up there. A story I had in Hero Shack's Trolls Exposed book without, the commentary that Trolls Exposed put on it. I always I always draw Peter in print format and then reformat it for Webtoon, so I could have it for free and then print versions that is linked to the free versions. Yeah.
Yeah, or you could separate them. I know Mrs. H, who's a regular over at the Matriarchy, does Captain Orange, right? And she has both the vertical scroll and the comic print version as like 2 different series and updates them when like both versions are ready.
What did you draw? What did who draw? Me? Timothy? Or somebody else? Which site do you all think has more traffic between Global Comics and Indie Planet? And have you all heard of any other good comic hosting sites to use? Well, I would know between the two. Probably Global Indie Planet might have a little bit more traffic because it's more well known.
Well, it's older. Here's the problem with Indie Planet. There aren't a lot of people who just browse it, right? They don't actually treat it like a comic shop or anything like that. And part of it is the store. I love Kablam. The people who work there are great. They will work with you. They're very amenable, but like they're not set up for people to just sit there and browse and find new things. Right. So it's a very low number of people that do that. Most of the traffic to Indie Planet are people who get sent there. At the moment, it's kind of the same with Global Comics because they're not very well known, but because it is built around being like a social thing, there are growing more people that just sit on that site than just have to be directed, right? You create a user, you could just be a reader, it'll update you. It's almost like any comic reader site, like the way Webtoons is. You could just sit on Webtoons like, oh, look, there's been an update, continue reading, and things like that. I would say it's probably going to grow faster too, because a lot of people are jumping over to Global Comics who are escaping Webtoons because they see Webtoon as a dying platform.
Okay, so there we have Metamorph done tonight.
Any other good comic hosting sites? I can tell you the one other than my own website, right? Because obviously I'm my own host. But I mirror everywhere, so I probably have one of the better opinions on the different sites that you can host comics in. There's an older one built off of HostGator. Like I think it's actually a subsidiary of HostGator. I'm not sure, but it's called Comic Fury. That I have a lot of my stuff up there on at least my webcomics. So if you're only worried about the webcomic end, it's a good one. If you're trying to sell comics, not so much, right? But it is a webcomic specific site. That one probably I get a lot of like most of my traffic from. I don't ever advertise it, and I have like almost 10,000 views on Realms and Relics over there, which is catching up to how much I.
Jeff says hi.
Yeah.
The Master Panda says, "Is Webtoons dying because they were trying to screw over their creators? I've only heard about this here and there, but not enough to be in the know."
It's a mix of things. It's not very good for growing in Canvas. Part its search engine is awful. Like actually trying to find anything in Webtoon. It's really hard to be accepted into their advertisement program because even though it looks like the requirements are low, they still have to accept your content, and a lot of people just don't. So that was kind of like something a lot of people were hoping for, and it was a bust. And yeah, the creators that actually get a contract with them are worked basically as hard as the manga industry works, but they don't have the teams the manga industry has, because like a single manga, even the lower end of teams, you have like anywhere between 3 to 5 people working on it. Like the actual main mangaka, like the author would be the other word for it, and then some assistants that are assigned to him or that he or she picks themselves. But some teams get as big as up like 50 people, you know. So that's why you can get like these beautiful looking books that take no time to make, right? Because it's a bunch of people working on black and white. The author will do like the people, and then all the backgrounds and other stuff get filled. And they're expecting somebody to do that on Webtoon, where in a lot of cases they're in color, and maybe 1 or 2 people are working on it. and working them like slaves. So that's one of the reasons there's a bad taste to Webtoon. A lot of people are leaving it. It's not very functional in the first place, and people are looking to go elsewhere.
So my VPN, I'm not sure whether that would matter or not. I had it set in Detroit. Put it in Toronto. See whether that does anything.
Why'd you have it in Detroit? It's because you were trying to look at some American sites, or?
Just, I don't know. I just.
Well, I'm sure like surfing American storefronts is probably easier when the website thinks you're actually in America.
Yeah. It's just, it's sometimes easier, get more better results if you're doing a search or whatever. Not that I do a search that often. Depends on, if I'm not doing it from Canada, wanting something specifically Canadian. I don't think it matters. But sometimes I have it Toronto, sometimes I have it, sometimes I have it in Canada, sometimes I have it in the States, or haven't really tried anywhere else in the world. It's just interesting when you do it certain places, the ads that will come up for, say, YouTube, if you're watching. I've done like had it in Australian, I get all these Australian ads coming up.
Oh, actually, I was just thinking too, one of the other benefits to Global Comics over Comixology, which is one of the things that they're being marketed as a replacement for more than anything else. When you had something up on Comixology, because it was a site that was slow to get on in the first place, but then it was owned by Amazon later. Once something was up, it was up. You couldn't really make a change to it. You could send to their service or whatever and try to get it changed, but it's like, no, once the PDF is up, especially because they had to do their whole interactive reading thing around it. It was dumb.
You're talking about this?
It does kind of look like he's
this?
holding a sausage.
Oh, it's supposed to be a boomerang.
Yeah. But on Global Comics, not only can you replace or even change the comic, right? Like, you can add more pages before you're even done with the comic and just release it, right? But you can actually just replace the file for an individual page without anybody noticing and do edits and changes as long as it's still live. It's like, oh, yes, Control. I love Control. Does he beat up bad guys with a sausage?
No sausage here. Well, I guess it depends what you mean by sausage. Because that could get real. How shall we say it?
Dicey.
Yeah. Risque? Massive says, nice. I need to be able to edit. There's been times when I forgot to put a black outline around a text bubble, and it would drive me absolutely insane. Says Massive Panda.
I like to do stealth edits and make my audience think it was always that way, and they're the crazy ones for thinking it's different.
Yeah, but do you really ever get anybody asking you if it was different?
I have once actually. And
Oh, what?
it was actually after I changed all the colors on from the CMYK to the RGB. And I waited until I had it all done before I went in and I changed it. And I'm mostly up in like the early morning, late night anyway, so I waited till it was like 1 o'clock my time before I started, and then I went through and started changing all the pages when nobody was looking. And then like 4 days later, it's like, hey, were the colors always this way? So yeah, it happens.
Well, I'm sure it did, but it does to some people. But I wasn't sure whether it would have actually happened to you because no, I think no offense, low traffic.
No, actually, so my problem is my traffic's not actually that low. My traffic's fine. It's my interaction that's low. Right? There's a few dedicated people that they don't comment. I keep telling them to, but they'll send me DMs, right? And it's mostly people that I knew IRL, right? That's
Yeah.
usually how most of your readership starts. But they'll send me DMs, and they do read regularly. But no, my traffic is absolutely fine. It's
Uh,
interaction, and that's the thing that bums me out. It's like, yeah, a lot of people are at least looking at the pages. I have no idea what a lot of people think about it, though.
yeah, which is not necessarily good. You like to know what people are thinking. Sometimes, anyways. Maybe you don't really want to know.
Oh no, I
uh,
want to know. I mean, they're
yeah.
probably wrong, but I want to know. In fact, I think I care about interaction more than I care about traffic. If my interaction was like, I don't know, 10 times as good and my traffic was 10 times as bad, then I would take that over. I would take that trade any day.
Let's see. Hey, Lorenzo. Lorenzo's here saying hi to everybody. Flyfox said, I tried to read your website, but I have trouble reading webcomics these days at all.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I have trouble just keeping up with anything. But, like I said, I do have print versions. If anybody wants to just support somebody who otherwise throws out stuff for free. But no, I thank you for even just taking the time to try. It's hard to keep
Yeah.
up with stuff. It really is.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I've got to get on some reading stuff. Well, what I hate is I did reading of Polar Twilight on my Discord in over 2 different weeks, but the 1 week that I was recording, didn't record my sound, so I gotta go read the first half again, so I could
Wow.
edit it and yes, mom.
Just coming in to say hi to the ones that weren't here when I was in last, like Lorenzo.
Uh, so you did
What?
say hi.
Unless I do it in there, but
Yeah,
like the chat isn't up on my TV.
yeah, because I did put the chat on for people to see that way. Let's see, Timothy. So yeah, I'm trying to get an actual date for the author Pelosa at the local library. Cool. but I also saw where they display local writers' books, so I might try that too. Oh, cool.
See, I misread that when he said try to get the actual date. I thought he said I was trying to get an actual date. And like, you're having trouble finding a date to go to the library? That doesn't shock me at all.
Yes, not too many people want to go to the library on a date.
Bookstore, on the other hand, maybe. I could see that working. Because, like, in a library, there's nothing romantic about it. You have to return whatever you take out. A bookstore, though, you get to keep it.
True.
No, I know I read that wrong. That was my initial statement, was that I read that wrong.
Fly Fox says, I went to the library on a date when I was in high school.
That sounds very sad, Fly Fox. I was more of the, hey, let's go ice skating kind of guy. Just great if, like, the girl doesn't know how to ice skate, because then she's just, like, holding you tightly the whole time so she doesn't fall.
Yeah, that wouldn't work out too well for me.
You can't ice skate either?
Yeah. Well, my problem is um my feet sort of bow inwards. I just can't really stand for long on that single blade, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I'm an excellent skater. Ice or wheels.
When I So, I have to concentrate really hard to be able to stay up, but then that doesn't last long. So it just ends up hurting my legs, feet too much. I'm like, this isn't worth it. Pilfer Puff does a smile. Let's see. Flyfox says, my wife and I were at the mall on our first date, so we went in the bookstore. Cool. Timothy says, it was then Flyfox dedicated his life to evil. Flyfox says, it wasn't exactly a date to the bookstore, but it involved the bookstore. Timothy says, like, thanks a lot, Metal. And
You're welcome.
Lorenzo says hi to Pilferpuff. Oops, when I got the right thing on there. Okay, we'll catch you later, Pilfer. Have a great night.
Yeah, see, my idea of a good date is basically anything that kind of forces the woman to grab onto you tightly, but she's not aware that you're rigging the circumstances to do that, so you don't seem like a scumbag.
Yeah, but most guys try to do that, so it's
Oh, it's a very common thing, but some people are very conscious of it, some people are very good at it, and some people are very bad at it. And I'm just very open about it.
I don't know. I haven't been on really dates, so I don't know how good I'd be at stuff like that. Grab onto you. Where the metal? Anywhere.
And anywhere they can get a good grip. Massive Panda says I'm married now, but my dating game was absolute garbage. Well, thankfully for you, you don't. It doesn't have to be good. You already did the one thing that's supposed to resolve out of it.
Let's see. Flyfox says my first real date was when I was a freshman in high school. We went to see a movie at the movie theater.
Yeah, movies are fine. They're okay, but they're not a guarantee.
Oh, what to get
No.
that hold on thing?
Yeah. It's not a guarantee.
Yeah,
Even in a horror film, it's still not a guarantee. Like you gotta come up with some better options there.
yeah. It depends on how frightening she is, and then it depends on also the ice skating's not necessarily a guarantee either.
Oh no, it is. It is. Trust
But
me.
depends on how good of a skater she is.
There are ways of making her a worse skater, especially if you're the one who gets both of the sets of skates. Yeah, I'm gonna need it to be a size bigger than it's supposed to be.
Yeah, she might.
You ever tried skating in loose skates?
That's sort of what it probably half feels like for me when I'm skating all the time, even though I get the right size skates. Uh, Fly
Theme
Fox.
parks are good because you can always find a ride that's built with that's like centrifugal force, where you make sure you sit on the outside of the turn and it'll pull her into you.
Let's see. Flyfox says, as an adult, I switched to the pottery painting stores for the first date. Gives you something to do so it doesn't feel as awkward, and someone has to pick up the pottery. So second date almost guaranteed. Yeah, I guess. But it depends on how well the first date goes. Whether you want to go with somebody to pick it or to pick it up. Massapena says that's genius metal. Lorenzo said I used to consider myself a film buff, but it's difficult for me to sit still for a movie these days.
Another good one, horseback riding, where you both have to use the same horse.
I wouldn't mind that. I've ridden horses before. I fell asleep on I man, I fall asleep on anything I try to watch, but I think that's just my age catching up on me. Flyfox says, "Adios, bedtime." Okay, yeah. Rick, I'll DM you. Yeah, okay. We should get together in the next few days or whatever, and talk over something somewhere, preferably audio. Flyfox. Very cartoony style for him, but yeah. What's What's the cool guy show up when I leave? Hey, Jeff. Jeff was here earlier. Um, Fly Fox. Well, I got 2 characters done today. Should I go for a third? Probably not. Not too bad of in angle and form either, I don't think. Although the hands are way too big. What's everybody think of Power Man?
I don't know.
He's like a Second World War hero. Okay, what about Metamorph?
Let's see. He's got funky hands.
Yeah, well, I've have had I just had him.
Like I know that's on purpose, obviously, but he just has funky hands.
Yeah, well, normally he does have normal hands, but he's morphed them into like talons, like bird talons.
They look more like an insect alien.
Are these characters for your webtoons, webcomic work? No, this is a villain that will appear in, I think, Canadian Shield number 4. Or not, no, not number 4, like number 8, I think, 7 or 8. Although he doesn't have this uniform at the beginning of it, I might give it to him at the end, I think. He's a guy that's just discovered his powers of being able to morph. And Power Man, well, he's a hero from the 1940s. I wouldn't mind doing a sort of a web comic with him and my my World War II heroes. I just got to come up with a good script.
Oh, Joshua's got a good question. Is Rick actually an AI?
But he will appear in. He's the World War II superheroes are part of my main characters that have their own comic books coming together to form a team. Jeff says, yes, I am. Nice. So you already have Canadian Shield 3 written? Yeah, I have up to Canadian Shield 8 written. Snowdrift, I have the first 8 written, although I think I have to rewrite part of 5 because I misplaced it somewhere. And I got like the first 8 pages, 7 or 8 pages. Now I need to rewrite the back part of it, the last 2/3. I don't know what happened to the other pages. I have about the first 5 written for Insecto. I have the first 12 written for. It would explain those fingers, says Joshua. The first 12 written for the Flame. I think 1.5 for Ozona. I think 5 for the Wiz and 2 for Electide. And Lorenzo saying hi to Jeff and Joshua. All in all, I have about approximately 30 scripts written. Although I do need to get on to writing again soon. As well as doing the art. It'd be nice if I could get a lot of people doing the art so I could get on the writing.
I know how you feel, Rick.
Yeah, being a one-man show is hard, or close to a one-man show. I'm slowly expanding my team. The first comic, it was me, John, and Pope Raven. Second time around, it was me, John, and Ephraim. I don't think. Well, and you, of course.
Yes, I did editorial. Light, very light editorial. I wouldn't consider it full because I really didn't touch. I did a little bit of proofreading on your back page, but I really didn't touch much of anything else, and I didn't give you like panel criticism or anything like that, which is like the other half of editorial.
Yeah.
But by that point, like, thumbnails, everything was already done.
Yeah. Yeah. I might need you to go. I think you have access to the Piper Hair manga, the script. I might need you to go over what's considered the first page just to make sure the dialogue's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's not much.
Well, there's probably plenty wrong with it, but.
Now let's see. Doc.
It's probably mostly commas, though. That's always where it is. It's the commas. It's not just you. It's everyone. It's the most common mistake. A comma in the wrong place.
Yeah, like there's only one thing of dialogue on it, the first page. But the rest doesn't really matter because, it's just saying what's supposed to be in the scene. And it's just panel 2 Kung Fu Kitty saying, what do we have here? And I have the question mark, so. I just put an accent in that I probably didn't need.
Yeah, probably not. But does Power Man work at the city power plant?
No, he does not. You might consider him sort of although a Tony Stark Well, Tony's
No, like
more
he's got like a super suit type thing.
well, it's not so much it's not like Iron Man based. I should more say Howard Stark. He ends up creating a maybe even Rocketeer would be better, but he ends up basically creating a jetpack that allows him to fly. He's trying to create it for, anybody to use it to fly, but for some reason it's linked to him to fly. Anybody else tries to strap it on and fly, it won't work.
The Rocketeer is such a cool hero who still very pulpy, but should probably be dead, all things considered. With some of the stunts that's pulled, like I don't think you should have lived through it.
Yeah. This guy, has hey
Iron
Captain.
Man should definitely be dead.
Hey,
The G
Captain.
forces that he pulls is just ridiculous. Tony Stark should have died many times.
Yeah, well, that's the same with almost all the superheroes, isn't it?
No, because like a lot of them, they have like excuses, right? This is where the suspension of disbelief comes in, where it's like, well, Spider-Man has enhanced physiology because of the mutation and everything from the bite, but like Tony, for most of his run, is supposed to just be a normal human, and yet he's pulling G's that like fighter pilots can't even do. Tighter angles too, right? Like he's almost turning on a dime. Anybody who's got like this almost BS reason for having a tougher body, you can let it pass to some degree.
Yeah,
But it's like when they try to say Batman is just a normal human. You're like,
I guess that's what I'm more referring to is, any of the quote unquote normal humans.
yeah, Batman has to be like a metahuman. Like, absolutely. It just doesn't work otherwise.
Like anybody in the Bat family, really.
Yeah.
um, I Iron Man, War Machine. you know, Anybody like that. Although I think there's only been 2 or 3 people to wear the Iron Man suit or something like it.
Yes, I understand that Batman is canonically a normal human. He just can't be.
Yeah, with all the stuff that he goes through, the beatings, the life, the life he leads.
Oh, yeah, no, I am blaming the writers. Because even like other members of the Bat family, it works slightly more because what peak human means in the DC universe is a lot different than what it means in our universe, right? But even then, Batman is like well beyond what peak human even means in the DC universe.
Yeah, he is. He is what peak human, Captain Finity. Yeah, but even what Barbara Gordon or Bat, Dick Grayson, have done too. Is pretty, or any of the Robins.
Yeah, they've done some ridiculous things.
I don't know what other ones you might be able to pick. Besides the Bat.
Well, technically, Damien of the Robins has probably been the worst so far, just because he's been thrown into a time where they're so flippant about everything that he's already had faster than light reaction time feats for no reason.
Yeah, these guys are better than Bruce Lee. I don't rate the Batman canon. We didn't think you did.
Oh, it's like Batman. And then they try to say it's like, no, he's so smart. He predicted where the ray was going to be. He like dodges Omega beams that like Supergirl can't even dodge.
Yeah. or Superman or Flash.
Yeah. Well, Flash can technically. He is fast enough to dodge them. I know he's been hit by them before, but usually that's when he's distracted. But typically, he's supposed to be able to dodge them. He's
Yeah.
supposed to be like the only one that can.
Although technically, you would think Superman or Supergirl should be able to.
Almost any of them.
Because they're the speed that Superman and you know a Kryptonian would have, you know, they do match the Flash in my opinion. There's
No, no, no. Well, it depends, right? On what you mean by speed, because the Flash theoretically can, based on how his power works in their world, can just go way faster than anybody who doesn't have access to the Speed Force. The only thing that really beats them are people who, since they did this really stupid thing about how the DC cosmology works now, ever since like the whole like, oh, all the Earths are wrapped by the Speed Force, and then there's like these outer paragons and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. But like gods who are in like the outer heavens and stuff are above the Speed Force, so technically they're faster than anybody who can use the Speed Force. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The scaling in DC has gotten platonic, frankly. But like within the Speed Force, the Lanterns are probably faster than most of the Kryptonians are, with how fast they have to be able to move between galaxies and stuff like that.
Yeah, but we've seen. Well, I guess it depends on which canon you go with and when or whatever. But we've seen.
I said most. Superman breaks most of the rules of everything given any time because writers just let Superman do anything.
Yeah. So technically, you would think any Kryptonian would have possible access to that sort of speed.
You would think, but we also have to consider that Superman, much like Batman in the same regard, has really stupid plot armor that allow them to do things that other people in their family of things can't do.
Yeah. Although they've done that with Supergirl too, giving her, but well, it makes more sense that maybe Batman could do some things that the rest of the Bat family can't do because
Yeah, but it should be more
based on
maybe some physicality, right? Just because he has trained more, but most of it should be strategic, right? It should be intellect. He should be able to outmaneuver, outthink them. He shouldn't be able to bench press a ton.
Yeah. Superman is a Mary Sue, says Lorenzo. Probably true. Or the
Well, I wouldn't even say that. The problem is, specifically with these two, is that they are the icons that carry like their family of comics and stories for a long time, and they've had more writers touch them than literally anybody else has. I don't think there is a franchise, and Batman and Superman are the two that compete with each other, that have had more different writers touch them throughout their history. Right. So they do a lot of funky stuff that are very inconsistent. Some stuff that are still canon now, especially with the way DC works, because the current Superman is actually both the New 52 Superman and the New Earth Superman at the same time, because when the whole rebirth thing and right before that, when like there was the whole Flashpoint, part of him from New Earth got left carried over and had been living in some trailer in the middle of nowhere, right? And then eventually they just came back together, so it's still technically the same Superman.
Yeah.
There's a lot of funky, weird stuff in DC.
Yeah. But no, the only thing I was gonna say, the Bat family. It makes sense that Batman can do some things. Training and skills and all that are different than the others, but Kryptonian super speed comes from the sunlight and all that, and being in their body, so they all can do it. They should all be able to reach the same speeds. But then, well, I guess you have regular humans that are faster than each other. So,
Well, yeah, trying to get into Kryptonian physics when it's been so inconsistent over its lifetime is that's a minefield, you know.
Yeah,
Like to some degree, theoretically, Supergirl should be the strongest out of all of them because she absorbs sunlight faster than everyone. But Clark is definitely just way stronger than Kara. She just recovers faster. That's the only difference.
yeah. Well, although it makes sense that he'd be stronger because most guys are stronger than most
Yeah,
girls.
yeah, yeah. But if everything was built just purely based around how much sunlight they have, theoretically she should be the strongest. But that's just not how they write the characters.
Yeah. Well, she may absorb it into her system, but does she metabolize it? I'm not
Yes,
sure that faster.
way faster. They've established this several times. That's why, like, if both of them were to purge all of their energy, she would recover faster, right?
Uh,
But she's not stronger than Clark.
yeah.
This is just canon. This is stable,
Yeah.
and that it feels good because we in our life. Men are stronger than women, even though these are aliens who necessarily shouldn't have the same rules applied to them. But we can map onto it easier. So I'm not even going to complain that Superman's stronger. I like
Yeah.
it better that way. But the way
And
they wrote their story, she absorbs and metabolizes sunlight faster than
yeah.
he does.
At least in the modern era, I don't think it was that way. Like you know, I'd even say before New 52, or it depends on which Supergirl you're talking about. Even with before the New 52.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like if you're talking about through most of the early '90s, we didn't even have Kara, right? We had Matrix was the
Yeah.
Supergirl. He was actually a clone. So
It was goo.
yeah, yeah. But she had some cool powers. Like she could
Yeah.
manipulate physics at the molecular level, so she could like put chains back together if she wanted to, or other like weird random stuff.
Yeah. I actually didn't mind her as a Supergirl.
Yeah, she was a fun character.
And then there was a person that absorbed her,
Yeah, that was weird.
which again wasn't too bad, but the best Supergirl I like is the one that is his cousin. Although I would probably prefer um pre New 52, like I'm not sure what you'd call it, classic.
The one it's still Kara Zor-El. You want the old school one.
Yeah, but no, I'm just saying the one that is like New 52 that is Kara Zor-El as well, um, is a little different in power set or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
and attitude and all that. They draw her a lot more sexier, obviously, than the
Well,
one.
they don't draw any version of her sexier than Karen Starr.
Yeah, Power Girl. Yeah, but I mean the one that is actually called Supergirl. I know
Yeah, yeah.
technically Karen Starr is a version of Supergirl. Lorenzo says the Supergirl TV show made show her as needing an entire team to help her. True.
But that's all of the TV shows, though. Like I've hated this. I think you and I've talked about this before. Is that because of like I think the popularity of things like NCIS and other like team-based shows and stuff like that. When they made these superhero shows, all of them had to be centered around a team, and I kind of get it. Like you need strong characters to fill out a show. Like a sitcom needs like four strong characters, right? But they
Yeah.
didn't all need to work as a team. A lot of them could have just been supporting characters in people's life, right? Like
Yeah.
if you made a Superman show, you don't actually need Jimmy and Lois to be part of Superman's team. They're just there. They're members of his life. They'll be involved in a lot of stuff, but Superman would be the one doing everything.
Yeah. Well, they're part of a different team, the news
Yeah, yeah.
team.
But then you've got like Archer or Arrow. Sorry, Archer's a different show. Arrow, which should be Green Arrow. I hate that version of Ollie, honestly, because
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like Ollie. But you've got Arrow, you've got Flash, you've got Supergirl. All these people, they're built around being a team show, even though widely the characters were mostly independent, running around in their comics.
Yeah. They might have one person helping them, two at best. And that's only not in the same way that they're helping in Thing.
Oh yeah, it's
Uh,
like Batman has a team. It's one person until he picks a Robin. It's Alfred, and he's mostly there for guidance, maintaining. Sometimes he'll relay information from the Batcave or whatever, but it's like he had a team member.
yeah, Superman was basically himself, but well, he was, but he wasn't. He did have Lois, but not like Batman had Alfred.
What they should have done, right? Especially because most of these shows kind of like sunk anyway. Like they were a cost sink. They didn't make money long term.
Yeah,
They should have just, instead of making Arrow or any of this other stuff from the get go, they should have just made it cheesy. They should have like embraced the funny nature of comics and stuff, and they should have revived the Super Friends as a live action show.
yeah. Wait a minute, wait.
You would have had a team show already right there. They don't. Not everybody needs to be in every episode. It could just be like, oh no, Solomon Grundy's on the loose. Maybe like 2 other people are going to help Batman out, right? Like you could focus on tighter stories and stuff like that. It would have been fun.
Yeah. Well, almost what they did, although it's not quite the same, but what they did with Stargirl.
Yeah, sorta.
Oh, it's just I don't know the TV stuff. I didn't mind. Arrow, Flash. I didn't. I watched it and I didn't, but I didn't really super like it. Legends of Tomorrow because they weren't really ever in their costumes.
Oh, I hated Legends of Tomorrow. To me, that was the worst of all of them. I just didn't care about any of the characters enough to really be upset about it.
Yeah, Lorenzo's like, what about Super Friends with benefits?
Okay, I was actually thinking of something like that. If Marvel wants to get on their game, right? Scrap every other idea that they have for Disney Plus shows, right? And just make a live action version of Spider-Man and his amazing friends. I would not even care if they used the gay version of Iceman as long as they made it campy.
Yeah,
Right? Just make the show. That's like the one show you could actually make funny, because I hate how the MCU makes everything funny. It's like, but I go back and rewatch. It's like that show was already pretty campy because of the era that it was made in.
yeah. Although it only got what 2 seasons.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm sure the MCU would find some way to milk it for like 10.
Yeah, yeah. Well, heck, it would be. I think Spider-Man and his. Well, they have sort of re-brung back Spider-Man and his amazing friends, but I'm not. I've only seen a couple episodes. I'm really not too hip on it. It's a kid's real toddler, like a toddler show, real small kids
Oh yeah, no,
show, and
absolutely the wrong direction.
it's got Gwen Stacy and Miles Morales. Like I think maybe another one or two.
No Spider Verse. You can even make this a different universe, right? You could bring in Andrew Garfield as the Spider-Man for this one, and that could be where he stays, and just have like an alt-verse version of just Spider-Man and his amazing friends with the 2 characters that you had before, bring in Iceman and Firestar, right? And you can
Yeah.
make it a stupid, campy sitcom where they fight things, but they also have to deal with like city life.
Almost not quite as bad as the Justice League TV show.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was bad. The Justice League TV show. A fat Martian Manhunter. That just so doesn't go. I don't
Oh,
know.
see, if you want to have a fun thing with the like DC side with Justice League, you should make a sitcom that doesn't actually almost ever show the fighting. You can film some stuff for background footage, but a sitcom that literally just takes place in the Watchtower, right? For the people who aren't currently busy doing things.
Well, that would probably be good to star Booster Gold and Ted Cord.
Yeah. But you can have like the other people come and go as well, right? It's just like, and sometimes you could see like footage on the monitors of like Wonder Woman out there fighting something or something like that, right? And you could see the people who are busy. It's like, oh no, she's got it covered, and then just go back and make more popcorn and stuff. Like, I think it'd be a great sitcom.
Yeah. Not sure who you could put in there with those two. Well, I guess other Justice League International members.
Oh, there, you could put anyone in there, right? Because for
Well, no,
everybody will have
I
like
just
some reason to go there, right? Like you could have Plastic Man just show up for no reason because he's like doing a case. He's like, hey, I need some information or whatever. Like you
oh
came all the way up here for a civilian case. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't I?
yeah. Well, I get what you mean by that for cameos, but I'm more talking regular um people, well, regular cast members, if you will, like. Like yeah, sure. You had with say Perfect Strangers, you had Balky and his cousin, right? But you still had other people that you saw regularly in the show, like their girlfriends
Well,
and
I would probably put Martian Manhunter up there as a regular because unless something desperately needs his help, that he's pretty much just there. He's got nowhere else to be.
well, it depends on which Martian Manhunter you go with because he did create a civilian life as John Jones, a police detective in the comics. So, although I know they've had in stuff in comics and in TV shows where he's just stoically up there all the time monitoring, or a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's usually by the time they get to the point that like the Watchtower's made, it's progressed enough that he just spends most of his time up there.
Yeah, instead of down in humanity. Maybe it's because he doesn't want to be reading everybody's mind all the time. Less minds to contend with up in the watchtower.
No, I know exactly who would be up there. Guy Gardner would be slacking off at the Watchtower most of the time, even if he has something else he should be doing.
Yeah.
And he'd be a perfect character for a sitcom as well, just like Booster.
Yeah. At least an older version of Guy. I'm not so much sure about the newer versions of Guy.
Yeah. The reason I would say put Martian Manhunter too is like you need somebody who's like a straight man for everybody to play off of. That's there like all the time as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I get what you're saying. It's just, I guess you could easily have him there. It's just because of what they have done with him in recent days, where he is. You know.
Alternatively, if you want somebody to be the straight man up there, you could instead just put Oracle there. It would work.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the sitcom they're sleeping on.
Yeah. You just gotta figure out the right characters and how.
And who to
Uh,
pitch it to.
and the thing is that you could even have them come in and do some battles, but do the battles goofy like.
Oh yeah, but it's got to be a secondary thing. It's like it's not the main part of the show.
Yeah. Because well, sitcoms are only usually half an hour, so it's hard to say. Uh, Parts of it says I'd say yeah, but it's doing something every week, sitcominess with these characters.
Oh no, you could. I mean, dude, they made The Big Bang Theory for how long?
10 years.
Yeah, yeah. No,
400.
I think you could at least do a few seasons with this.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're a bit over time. Anything you would like to promote, Metal?
Well, yeah, the vomitorium. You know, it's tomorrow, as always. Every single time I hop on here, it's the next day afterwards. 6 o'clock Central Time. Be there. And be square. I mean, I don't care if you're square. You can show up too. I'm not gonna shame you.
Cool, cool, cool. And not sure what to promote for myself. I'll just thank Metal for coming on. Thank everybody in the chat for stopping by. It was great having everybody here. I should have my comics in hand tomorrow, so um, hopefully they'll be going. Some will be going out by Thursday, Friday, and hopefully all of them by next Tuesday will all have gone out. And here comes my mom to say bye.
Yeah. You got it.
So you're gonna say bye?
Good night, everyone.
Okay. There.
Buenas noches.
So yeah, thanks everybody for coming by, and I'm not sure whether I'll do a stream with the books or not. I've showed them off already, technically with the prints, so or the proofs. So I guess for now it's bye bye. God bless. Have a great and wonderful day, night, whatever it might be.